2020 has been the craziest year yet. Not only is it a leap year, it's also election year. My purpose today is to inform you about some of the arguments associated with no-excuse mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots directly affects me and my family due to consistently moving states and even countries. So I've conducted extensive research to know and understand the latest information. After today, you will have a little more information to help you decide whether to support or oppose mail-in ballots. I will begin with the reasons why people support no-excuse mail-in ballots and conclude with the reasons why people oppose the idea. With our roadmap set in place, let's begin with the supporting reasons. Some Americans believe that no-excuse mail-in ballots for the presidential election should be allowed nationwide for two distinct reasons. First off, with the world's current climate, people believe that it is safest for Americans to vote via mail rather than in person. In a blog post, Voting in the Year of COVID-19, 7 July 2020, the Union of Concerned Scientists state that the safest way for people to vote this November is for every eligible voter to receive a ballot in the mail that can be returned in a self-adhesive postage-paid envelope or be dropped off in a ballot box. End quote. Having the ability to cast a vote via mail means that voters do not have to leave the safety of their own homes, making it safer for everyone. Secondly, supporters believe that having the opportunity to mail in ballots gives voters more time to think about who they want to vote for. According to the article, Reducing the Undervote with Vote by Mail, published by the research journal American Politics Research, quote, said, "Mailing a voter a ballot allows them more time to get informed." End quote. In other words, voters are not forced to vote on a specific date, giving them flexibility and more time for deliberation. With supporting reasons covered, let's look at opposing reasons. There are two primary reasons some Americans oppose no-excuse mail-in ballots. The first reason comes from the belief that a percentage of ballots will get rejected. In the article from the Heritage Foundation, The Risks of Mailing in Voting, 3 August 2020, Hans Boskowski, an expert in election integrity, stated that, quote, "Election officials apparently rejected 1 in 5 ballots for everything from signatures on the ballots not matching signatures on the voter's file to not complying with technical rules that applies with absentee ballots. This shows that 20% of ballots may not count due to mailing in." The second reason comes from the belief that mail-in ballots cost taxpayers too much. According to the article, A New Clash Over Mail Voting, The Cost of Postage, 11 August 2020, published by the New York Times, said, quote, "Changes in the election procedures would probably cost states $4 billion cumulatively this election season, compared to $400 million appropriated by Congress in the last stimulus package." End quote. This means that getting ballots to every American will cost $3.6 billion more than previously anticipated. In conclusion, you now have a clear picture of why people view the way that they do. Now, let's review. First, we learned two reasons why some Americans support no-excuse mail-in ballots, to include the belief that it's safest for Americans to vote via mail rather than in person, and that having the opportunity to mail in ballots gives voters more time to think about who they want to vote for. Lastly, we discussed two reasons why Americans oppose the use of no-excuse mail-in votes, to include the belief that Americans would not get their ballot mailed to them in time for the vote to count, and that mail-in ballots cost taxpayers too much. You now have the information to help you decide whether to support or oppose mail-in ballots. Even though 2020 has been a tough year for us all, being well informed does not have to be.